Don't want to work for the rest of your life, but still want to maintain a certain lifestyle? Then you want to retire early in the best possible way, and I'm going to share with you how it is that you can do that. My name is Lewis Crompton, and this is not financial advice, where we talk all things trading, personal finance, and how to live your best life. And if you want to make more money in less time while having way more fun in life, then this is the channel for you. Make sure that you like this video, you subscribe to the channel for alerts on when we release our videos. As always, I have a free gift for you in the description of this video, which is going to dramatically speed up your journey to mastering money and the financial markets. And if you are young, then it may feel crazy to be talking about retirement. But as my military and my business friends always say, failing to plan is planning to fail. Do you realize how important it is to start investing into your future pension? Let me put it to you this way. The average person at the age of retirement has an annual salary of just £15,080 net income. Could you sustain your current lifestyle for just £15,000 a year? If the answer is no, or that you really want to be making that per month, then you are going to need to start thinking about your retirement now. So before we get into the discussion of how it is that you can do that, I want to do some reverse engineering on the process. Why? Because I'm a big believer about what you should and should not want to be achieving are not helpful and can actually be quite damaging. That is why we need to first of all get a little clarity on what it is that you want to be earning from your pension in your retirement. So let's get some figures down on paper, and if you want to write this stuff down, even if that's just in a note on your phone, then I would highly recommend that you do that now. If we look at what your current expenses are, then that is kind of the minimum that we would need to cover from a pension. But really, that is the bare minimum. Really, you need to be thinking about what kind of lifestyle you want to be enjoying during your retirement. You may be waiting until you retire, to be doing all the best stuff in life, like going on cruises, having a wonderful time with friends, visiting new places, or even living abroad. The problem with waiting until you retire is that you have no guarantees. Now, it may sound a little bit morbid to say this, but you don't know how much time you have left. You don't know what age you are going to make it to, and you don't know what your health will be like when you get there. In the UK, the current age of retirement is 67 years old, with plans to push that even higher. Personally, I think that is lunacy, I think it's criminal, and it actually makes me really angry that society has trapped people in jobs, in situations that cause them to keep working rather than living. That is one of the major reasons why I decided to learn how to invest and how to trade financial markets. I wanted to escape that system, and I wanted to live a life on my terms and a life that I have now created. Personally, it scares me to think about what life would have looked like if I did not learn how to trade. I would still be trapped in that office job, hating my life and not seeing the future that I wanted happening or being created. And that leads me to another question that we need to ask ourselves. What age do we want to retire? Technically, I can retire now. I don't want to. I enjoy what I do. I enjoy teaching people how to trade and invest, and I enjoy working with my one-to-one accountability clients, working on their personal goals, working on their investing goals, and working on their business goals. So technically, I may never retire because I love that stuff, even though I could retire. What I can tell you is that I have particular financial goals that I want to achieve by the time I am 40 years old. That's another 6 and a bit years from now. I can't actually believe that is how soon it is coming. And that is the thing. I don't believe it. Time has this awful habit of creeping up on you as if it wasn't there. That if we aren't making intentional choices today to create the future that we want, then all too quickly it will be too late. So we need to know 2 numbers. What money do you want to have coming in by the time you retire? And what age do you want to be generating that money by? Once we have those 2 numbers set down, we need to ask ourselves an honest question. Is what we are currently doing going to create that reality? If the answer is no, which my guess is that for most of you the answer is going to be no, then we need to create a better plan. And we need to take different action to what we've been doing so far. Let's say you are 30 years old right now, you want to be making 10k per month in your retirement, and you would like to retire at 50 years old. How are we going to get you there? What are you currently doing to make that happen? And are you currently paying into a pension pot or not? If you keep paying into that pot, when does it eventually pay out, and what will the monthly payment be? It may be a lot lower than you think. The reality is, if you want to retire early and with more money than the average, you are going to have to do something different. That different means that you will have to start investing. And if you want to start investing in things like property, or even investing heavily into stocks and shares and the financial markets for longer term plays, then you will need to start generating a lot more capital than you currently are. So how do we generate more capital? Well, there are a number of ways, but setting up an OnlyFans account may not be everybody's cup of tea. And by the way, OnlyFans takes a big chunk of your commission, or at least so I've been told. But hey, the government takes a big chunk of my revenue too from my business, and it spends it on, well, God knows what. I'll tell you what they're not spending it on. They're not spending it on a decent road system, all the potholes are insane, decent travel system, decent healthcare system, or a decent education system. But let me get off my rant about ridiculous taxation and the fact it doesn't make sense where all the money's going. Anyway, so you could set up a business, but that will take up way too much of your time, and there are no guarantees that it will be successful. So many businesses fail early on. What I did, and I was fortunate that this is where I first started, is I started out with trading. Now, once you truly understand the power of trading Forex and financial markets and the power it has to generate and create capital, then you will know that learning to trade is a no-brainer decision. And if you want to see what my biggest ever winning trade was, if this is the first video of mine you've seen, you can check out the previous video on that. So part of the reason trading the way that I teach people is so powerful and effective is because it allows us to use the compound effect. This is something I share on pretty much every webinar or event that I speak at, because it is a real game changer and is what made me realize it is why I needed to trade. Now, the way to retire early is to do what you have just done and identify what early means for you and identify how much you need in order to do that. Then you need to action the plan by finding a way to generate additional income that you put straight into other investments. It may be tricky to not just spend all of that extra money on the fun stuff, but that is why it's so important to have a really clear vision of the future that you want. Now, I'm not saying don't have some fun, but put more into the future. If you want to start creating that future that you'd like to design for yourself, then start today by taking some form of small action. Go and take a look at the description of this video. There is a thank you gift about how it is that you can start investing through trading financial markets. Now, make sure that you like this video, you subscribe to the channel, and you share it with somebody that you think it will help or inspire. My name is Lewis Crompton, and this is not financial advice.